Hello there, my friends. How are you doing? I hope you are having a wonderful day. So today I want to talk about Nintendo's next console. There's been virtually no official news about what they are cooking up, but the general consensus is that whatever it is will come sometime late next year. I mean, look at the release schedule. We got Detective Pikachu's sequel and Mario Bros. Wonder this month. Then November has WarioWare and Super Mario RPG Remake. Early next year, they're putting out some remasters and remakes of DS and Game Boy games before Peaches steals the show. And then the only things left are the Luigi's Mansion 2 port in the summer and the Thousand Year Door sometime in the next year. These are all much smaller projects than your typical Mario, Zelda. None of them are system sellers. And the last big game released was Tears of the Kingdom, which was probably delayed, from a 2022 release. So it is time for a new system, and most are expecting this to be a Switch 2, basically a much needed upgraded Switch, and there are a lot of reasons why Nintendo would go this route. First of all, the Switch is such a monumental success. At the time of recording, it is sitting comfortably at the third highest best-selling consoles ever, with 129 million units sold. Now, it's probably not going to top the DS or the PS2, but that does not undermine how huge their install base is. So many more people are into the Switch and maybe trying out new franchises. So yeah, another Switch-like system would be great. But what would be a big enough change from Switch to Switch 2, which would ensure people actually migrate from the old to the new system? Well, I'm glad you asked, because reportedly, some developers got to see a Breath of the Wild demo running on this new system with enhanced graphics comparable to 8th gen consoles. This would be huge. Because love the Switch as we do, a lot of us are getting tired of dated graphics and performance. It's kind of sad that we are excited about a Nintendo system having PS4 graphics, while Sony and Microsoft are so far ahead in that department. But can you imagine playing a big new AAA game on a portable system without having to sacrifice frames or pretty graphics, or rely on a silly cloud connection to Wi-Fi at all times? That would just be super awesome. Another big pro for Switch 2 is backwards compatibility, because I have bought a ton of physical copies of games, and I don't really want to buy Pikmin 3 again, even though it's my favorite. It'd be great to just be able to pop in my old Switch games instead of Nintendo slapping me in the face and saying, "No, buy my stuff again." So going into a similar system allows for players to keep their old copies and controllers relevant, and that would be another good advantage. Unfortunately, this brings us to the cons of a second Switch system, and my main point of making this video. I don't entirely think the Switch 2 is what Nintendo should do. I know I just said all the cool and awesome advantages of it, but let's be honest, sometimes rumors of awesome stuff end up never happening. I remember in the peak of the pre-release Switch hype, hearing about how the eShop would somehow have an even better virtual console than the Wii U, and even include GameCube games. That straight up did not happen. Unrelated note, the Switch eShop still has no virtual console, and the only way to play select retro Nintendo games is to subscribe to their online subscription, but all that is another topic for another day. The point is, it's easy to only look at the potential benefits and ignore the possibility for problems. I only have a few objections to Switch 2, so please don't click away now. So for my first con, let's address the Joy-Cons, because they are kind of broken at the moment. I think it was just within the last year that I sent them in to get the drift issue fixed. But that in and of itself is a problem. The controllers should last longer without dealing with drift issues or any other problem. I don't know what joysticks they used or whatever other company was involved in manufacturing or designing them, but the Joy-Cons need to be better if they will continue to be used with Switch 2. I mean, even my Pro controller has been developing a drift issue, and Nintendo has provided no means to fix it. This is a problem, and it should be easily enough resolved if they maybe give the Joy-Con some more heft, but I would be kind of disappointed if, when they make the next system, they do nothing to fix the controller issue. Do you remember the Wii U? Well, I do, and I was one of the few who bought one and used it. Not only that, I was one of the 2 people who played Breath of the Wild exclusively through the Wii U. Why do I bring this up? Well, because as popular as the Wii was back in its heyday, the Wii U was just as unpopular. And I get that this was a whole different era of Nintendo. They had just had the huge commercial success of the Wii, so they decided to sit back and make a sequel system which would hopefully pull in all the casual crowd from before. Of course, this did not happen, so they rushed into the Switch and have done a great job of making up for that dreadful period in their history. But I am a little afraid of history repeating itself. Again, I am aware that this is a different install base in a different time, but I still do not want Nintendo to only make a half effort to innovate and improve their products going forward. That can only end in disaster. Other companies have run into that exact same situation because they decided to rest on their laurels instead of doubling down and making quality systems and games. I'm not saying that a Switch 2 automatically makes Nintendo lazy or proud, but for Nintendo to make a Switch 2, they run the risk of people perceiving it the same way we perceive the Switch Lite or the Switch OLED. Like, hey, that's cool I guess, but I'll just wait for the next really new system. Now this last one is more of just rambling than actual points, so stick with me here. It's definitely more of a preference thing, but I do think that some would agree with me on it. A new, strong, traditional console from Nintendo. That would just be nice. The novelty of handheld gaming is neat, but I just don't know how long they can keep riding that train. I still think the Switch should be supported for a long time, don't get me wrong, but it would be cool to see newer third-party games readily available on Nintendo consoles without sacrifices, and that just doesn't happen at the moment. Because of the Switch, they have to deal with putting their games on a cartridge or digital only instead of a disc. And then the Switch is just not capable of running the newer games at the desired frames or graphics. I don't even know a ton about this stuff, but even though rumors have said Switch 2 can run Final Fantasy VII Remake and still look like PS5 game, I somehow can't believe that until I see it. I'm not asking Nintendo to compete in a space they just haven't for a while, but I am saying it would be cool to have a new something or whatever that uses discs and doesn't have to worry about all these sacrifices like the Switch does. You know what I mean? Anyways, that is the bulk of what I have to say about the Switch 2 concept. Like the title says, I am not sold either way with what Nintendo does going forward, but you know what? I sure am excited about it. Please let me know what you think about the Switch 2 down in the comments below, and have a fantastic day. Oh, also, before I actually end the video, I would like to actually give you guys some thank yous for actually watching my last, normal video. It's insane. I am, at the moment, it has 6,000 views, and it's been crazy. It actually, it's wild. It's wild, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If a fraction of you from that video came over here, that would be huge, and that would automatically put this at my second most viewed video ever. But I am very grateful for the support and the subscribes. Like, there's been a lot of subscribers and likes and all those things, and it has been pretty nice. It's been pretty cool to see, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for watching, and until next time, I hope you take care. Have a great day.